Welcome to Your Unique Brilliance podcast with Nicola Salter, bringing you a weekly fresh flow of guidance, inspirations, powerful tips, and conversations designed to help you create your vision, discover your greatest diamond potential, and begin living the life you want. This is about empowering your truth, your choice, and your voice. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Your Unique Brilliance podcast with me, Nicola Salter. And do I have a surprise for you today? I am so honored to have with us a beautiful guest, my sister Sonia Jackson Miles, who is just extraordinary. She is so committed to her mission to help women and young girls around the world to learn to love themselves, to love each other. And we're going to hear about her journey, how she stepped into this new role and her background. Welcome, Sonia. I am so excited to have you with us.
Hello, sister. I'm so honored to be here with you today.
You are a diamond, and there is so much to share about you and what you have done in your past and what you're doing now. I would love to give a brief intro before we dive into the interview. So Let me thank you. Let me just share a little about you. Sonia is the founder of the Sister Accord. She's also an author of 51 Ways to Love Your Sister and 51 Ways to Love Your Children. She's married. She's got two wonderful sons, 25 and 24. And before launching the Sister Accord, which I'll share a little bit with you in a moment, she was in the corporate world, in corporate America, and she has over 20 years experience managing over $20 billion in spend. It's huge. She worked for the Ford Motor Company, the Gillette Company, Procter & Gamble, and her last corporate role was with Procter & Gamble as the Director of Global Packaging and Purchasing, and she was managing a $6 billion in spend. She is amazing. Now, where she is today is she is the founder, president, and CEO of the Sister Accord Foundation, which has three areas of focus: educating girls and women, enlightening girls and women of the power of sisterhood, and eradicating bullying and violence against girls and women. She's also the founder and CEO of the Accord Group, LLC, which is a leadership development and executive coaching and employee engagement, branding and diversity consultancy. She has also launched, she's amazing, her Dream Walking Executive Coaching and Leadership Development Program in 2015 and has hundreds of what she calls dream walkers, mentees, walking in their purpose and designing their destinies. She currently serves as the chair of the FAMU School of Business and Industries Advisory Board, and she's also a board member for the Impact Young Lives Foundation, which supports leadership development for youth in South Africa. Sonia's incredible. She's made numerous media appearances across all platforms, including Forbes, Disney, Fortune Magazine, CNN, New York Times, Essence Magazine, the Black Enterprise Magazine, the Today Show, the Good Morning America, Bloomberg, Business Week, the Huffington Post, and the Cannes Lion International Festival of Creativity. And it doesn't stop there. She's consistently motivated and working towards her mission. And in December 2020, she launched the Sister Accord Africa. And this is encompassing her goal to have 1 billion girls and women learning how to love themselves and each other. Sonia, I could go on forever. There is so much wonderful fabulousness here. You are incredible, an inspiration, and driven. And we are going to dive into sharing with our listeners more about your journey and the Sister Accord, your mission, what drives you, what motivates you. So tell us. I'm going to stop talking now. I want to hear from you. I'm going to stop talking. Tell us, let's just jump into first. You were in the corporate world. So you were very corporate driven, a whole different world to where you are now.
Yes.
Okay. How did you get into the corporate world? Tell us your journey.
So, in school growing up, and again, thank you, sister. It is such an honor to be here with you today. I could barely sleep last night. And, I just, when I was growing up, I was convinced that I would be an engineer.
You
Right.
did. I didn't know that.
Uh,
Okay.
because, I had in high school, I co-opted with General Motors. My family was a General Motors family. And so I was always in that space and I'm a car fanatic. And
Okay.
so I really thought that I would go into engineering. That's why internships and co-ops are so important because they will show you what you do want to do and what you don't want to do. So here I
Very
am
good point.
watching all of these engineers and they're in the corner drafting and drawing and they're
Mhm.
talking to themselves.
It wasn't very
I said,
appealing.
that's not going to work for me. Right. So I knew that early on that I needed a an area of focus for my career that would allow me to engage with people.
Right.
And so I began to ponder and think about, well, what could that be? And I decided to study business. And I love the world of business. I love making deals. I
Mhm.
love negotiating. And so, although I studied marketing for both undergrad and grad school at Florida A&M University, I went into purchasing. And that's why I tell all of my mentees, it does not matter. That road may go to the left, it may go to the right, then you go up, then you go down. It does not matter.
It doesn't.
What matters is that you are pursuing your next level of excellence. And
Mhm.
so I took a role with Ford Motor Company in purchasing after studying marketing and thinking that I was going to go into marketing. And it didn't happen.
Didn't
But
happen.
purchasing was for me because it gave me the opportunity to learn every aspect of a business. Get this.
Yeah.
You are literally, when you have to buy for a company, you are literally delving in. You are the manager of all of these funds. So here I am managing billions of dollars. I had to know every aspect of that supply chain and
Mhm.
every aspect of what was going on with my suppliers. It is one of the most amazing careers that anyone can have. So I highly, highly recommend for anyone who has ever thought about buying or purchasing or procurement
Mhm.
to actually go for it. And that's how I started my career. Started at Ford Motor Company in the car industry because, like I said, I love cars, have a
Love
lot of
them.
passion for cars.
Uh-huh.
Then went to the Gillette Company
Yep.
in Boston, and then Procter and Gamble acquired Gillette, and that's how I ended up in Cincinnati
Mhm.
designing. They created a role for me designing the global media sourcing organization. They were the largest advertiser at the time, so $7 billion. And then I ran that. And then my last role, as you said, was buying all of the packaging globally. Everything that I went through was setting me up. I didn't know it,
Yeah.
but it was setting me up for what I'm doing today. Can you
And
believe that?
and it's not until we get to this age that we won't mention ages, but when we get to this age that we can look back in hindsight and
Right.
see where the journey has taken it. But you're right, when you're in the journey, you're in the midst of that adventure, you don't really know. You're going with the flow. You got to be in a place that really excites you, that you connect with it, right? It fulfills you, which it
Right.
obviously did for you. But we don't know where it's taking us.
Oh,
And to be open to the fact that this road could take us anywhere and
that's
be
right.
open to that. That's wonderful. It's so much responsibility, though. That was a huge amount of responsibility
A
that
lot
you
of
had.
responsibility at
Yeah,
a young age.
I know. I was just about to
That's
say,
what,
because you're not
yes.
old now, so you must have
No,
been
I'm
pretty young.
25
Of
now, so
course you
I
are.
was like 15 or something.
I know. I celebrate my 30th birthday every year. I never seem to get older. But but yeah, a young age, a woman of color
Yes.
in that amazing responsible role. Did you ever feel stressed doing this?
Oh,
Mm,
lots of stress.
mm,
These jobs are very, very short because guess what? If the part, whatever it is that you're buying or the commodity, whatever it is, if it doesn't show up at the facilities,
yeah,
it's on you.
yeah.
So if there were any kind of crises or anything, the buyer, the folks responsible you had to do whatever you needed to do. So in some instances, I had to go and stay at the plant of my suppliers and make sure that things happen. It was fast paced,
Hmm.
stress,
Hmm.
but so rewarding, right? So
Yeah.
what was so important for me, and I didn't learn this early on because I'm a recovering workaholic.
Uh-huh.
I had to have balance.
Hmm.
Yes, I loved work. Yes, I loved making the deals, the art of the deal, and all of that. But you have to balance, and you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and you make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do for your family. So I got out of balance. I got out of balance, but I had to get it. I had to get it together so that I make sure I could be present for my family.
Right, you're balancing the family as well as this amazing power-driven job that you had,
Right.
and boundaries, self-care, balance, building resilience to stress. These are all things that we're not taught at
Mhm.
university, and well, maybe now, but not so much then. We have to find this in our own way and
That's
avoid
right.
that burnout. And
That's
I
right.
and I feel women. I don't know if you agree with me on this one. I do feel. I'm around the same age as you too, and I remember being in the corporate world. I remember always feeling I needed to work harder as a
Yes.
woman to
Yes.
prove myself with the
Yes.
men in the boardroom.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be like that anymore.
Nope.
We don't need to step into that masculinity to prove and that drive. Just be who you are,
That's
set those
right.
boundaries, take care of yourself. And it's really good to hear that from you, especially in the position that you were in and holding, that you
Yes.
had to sit down and address that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be around, would we, to be able to
I
carry on?
know. I mean, literally, you cannot function. It's not sustainable. And so, to all of your listeners who may be feeling out of balance and feeling out of sorts, I call it the power of the pause. You must sit still
Mm-hmm.
and really think about how are you living your life,
Mm-hmm.
and be really honest with yourself about how you are spending your time, and where there are outages, where there are things where you say, you know what, I don't really feel good about this. Well, that's the thing that I want you to focus on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
did that, it made a huge difference for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And having that experience, that personal experience that you've walked through, of course, now makes you a marvelous coach in helping others in doing the work that you do now and things that you need to avoid and look at and focus on. Yeah, it's that personal journey again. I was the same in the corporate world. I couldn't do what I was doing now if I hadn't had those experiences
That's
back in the
right.
corporate world. That's how it happens. So as you're working through these amazing jobs, meeting these incredible people and traveling, when was it? I'm curious. When was it that you suddenly became aware of another voice going on in your head, this mission that started to, it was a seed and it started to grow. When was this? When did it happen?
Well, I was so fortunate. I had a mentee from every continent with the exception of Antarctica. And someone told me not too long ago, what's your problem? Overachiever. Why don't you have one from Antarctica? Oh, nobody lives
Oh,
there. How about that?
I'm sure we could find somebody.
And so, I just started paying attention to patterns.
Hmm.
I started paying attention to what people were coming and seeing me about. And my admin used to say all the time, Sonia, do you ever say no when someone requests to get on your calendar? No, I don't. Because as a leader, this is what I'm here for.
Hmm.
If we
Yeah.
take care of the people, we can then focus on what we need to do to deliver extraordinary results. But
Thank you.
if you don't take care of the people, it'll never happen.
It won't. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
so I just started noticing that my male mentees were coming to me and talking about things that were very different than my female mentees.
Mm.
My male mentees would say, hey, Sonia, I've got this amazing business idea. I need you to help me flesh it out. My female mentees would say, I don't trust Cindy. I don't like working for Ann, or
Mm.
whatever it was. It was always relationship
Yep.
related, but it was the lack of relationship.
Hmm.
And I kept saying, well, how are we going to get to the boardroom? How are we going to get to the C-suite if we are more concerned about the person sitting next to us and the lack of relationship than being able to focus on the business? There's no way that we can effectively compete. And that's when I started to really begin to write things down and pay attention to what was
Yeah.
going on, because it was connected to my soul. It was something
Yeah.
that I had concern about. And I began to see how I could connect the dots in using my voice and my experience to actually help those women through these issues, recognizing that we are socialized as little girls to not like each other.
Yeah.
We're socialized to compete. And we
Mhm.
see it every day. People who have heard me speak before, I talk about it. Who wore it best that you see in magazines? They're not putting two men next to each other. They're putting two women, and they're telling us that we must choose who's the best,
Yeah.
who wore it best. When all I want to say is, hey, they're both amazing. They're both beautiful. They're both wonderful.
Yeah.
But we are socialized to pick one or the other and then have this competition. And I wanted to use my voice to say, nah, we're not doing that anymore. We may have bought into that in the past, but we are not going to do that moving forward. So I like to say the Sister Accord
Yeah.
is a disruptor. It's a mindset shift.
Yeah. It is a disruptor. And hearing you describe it in this way, and from how this Sister Accord originated from that seed of patterns that you were identifying, and then deciding that you wanted to use your voice to make a difference. I mean, you're one of these warriors on the front line. And I do think our generation as women, a similar situation happened to me, is that we've been called in this lifetime to do that. I truly
Yeah.
feel that is our mission,
Yeah.
to bring women into their brilliance and their purpose, to show that everyone can be friends, get along, no competition, that each of us is unique, each of us is special,
Right.
and we've all got something to contribute. And
Right.
it's right, and to break free of this whole system of socializing us. So thank goodness that you got this message, that you got this call, that you're even able to observe the patterns. And
Mhm.
now you've put this into a creation, you've taken this mission worldwide,
Mhm.
globally,
Yep.
into the Sister Accord Foundation.
Yes.
And we're going to go into this, of course, in more detail in a moment, but I wanted to also bring up, your personal growth during this time as well. And I know, for one, that when I was in the corporate world, in any kind of job we do, it's always a constant personal development, and
Oh,
always in transformation.
always.
Always, never ends. We never get a vacation from it, and it's part of being human, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Um, with these patterns that you were recognizing with women, what was going on for yourself too within you as you were seeing these patterns? There must have been some kind of connection going on for yourself at the same time. Can you share some light on that?
Well, mean girls grow up to be mean women if there is no intervention.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I started, and mine came later in my career where, I felt like, okay, I'm being bullied here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, whoa, whoa. And again, because I am, the very nature of who I am is about love and kindness, I think that people view that as a weakness.
Yeah, I can.
And they just don't, they didn't realize, listen, I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. And so,
Uh-huh.
I'm a fighter, right?
Uh-huh. You're the
So
warrior.
I'm not going to be a doormat for anyone. And so I had to, in a very respectful way, establish those boundaries and say, wait a minute, time out. I'm not dealing with this,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not, I come to work, I give 150%.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I take care of the people in my organization, people outside of my organization. No, I'm not doing that, right? And so speaking up for myself was probably one of the most beautiful things that I had to do as part of a leader, in a large company.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that, and I say it all the time, to be kind, particularly when you're not being treated right. To
Not
be
easy to do.
It's not easy to do. It takes a lot of resilience, a lot of strength.
Yep.
Kindness is a strength. And
Mhm.
so I had to, and I think it's just, it's my lot in life to be able to show people how you can use kindness and love and compassion in a way that doesn't allow people to abuse you, misuse you, mistreat you, and at the same time be able to establish your voice and the gift that you've been given so that you can make a difference in this world. And that's a very simple way of
Mhm.
explaining how I handled a very challenging time in my career.
Yes, and I think beautifully put as well, and simple and powerful at the same time, the way you just described that. And love and kindness, speaking up for yourself, these are all what I call like the divine feminine strengths. This is us being women who we're meant to be.
Mhm.
We're not meant to hide, and
Oh,
no, we're meant to shine, and there's
yes.
famous saying, and we don't recognize that, or haven't recognized that, or are too afraid to.
Yes.
Thousands of years of grooming us to
Yes.
be that way, and now
Yes.
we have the opportunity to break that mold.
That's
And
right.
you're inspiring us today to do that with all the work that you're also doing around the globe. Thank you, helping young women to do the same. And also, I mean, in your books, I mean, you've got 51 ways to love your children, which is here, which is a good read. It's beautiful, easy, good read,
Yes.
lovely, just quotes in
Simple.
here, so
Simple.
simple, quickly that you can just pick this up and read it. It's like, be careful with your words. Words can hurt.
Mhm.
This is for, aimed at for bringing up your children. A love check in here. Learn when to let go. I mean, you've got two boys of your own, so I'm sure a
Right.
lot of this
That's
has been
right.
through your own experience with your boys.
That's
And
right.
also 51 ways to love your sister.
Yeah,
So this
that's
one,
my first baby.
love this too. And just based on what Sonia's been sharing with us, in terms of that internal journey that she had to go on as well as a leader, there's some great quotes in here too. Give your sister a message of peace today is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
When do we ever think to do that? Being kind, give her a message of peace.
Right.
Share your fears, just as we're doing today.
Mhm.
Sharing your fears about what's troubling you. Maybe you've got imposter syndrome. Maybe you
That's right.
self-sabotage, right? And I
Yeah,
think for a lot of women, we can get this imposter syndrome.
that's right.
We tend to continuously think that everyone is better than us. So why me? Why should I be doing this?
That's right.
And this is such a great book just to really bring you back to center, lift your
Yes,
spirits.
yes,
Yep.
absolutely. That center, what you just said about bringing yourself back to center is so incredibly important on this journey of balancing, right? We never said that it's going to be perfectly balanced 50-50 or all one way or all the other way. But the art and act of centering
Yeah.
will take you places, the places that you'll go, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what that book was designed to do. So thank you for saying that,
Yeah.
because see, we're so connected.
We are. We have
uh,
similar
that's
journeys.
it. That's it.
And I love this. I pick this up every day. I just let the book fall open, to be honest, to
Yes.
see what page is going to open.
Yeah.
And a sister is the person will always find a way to put a smile on your face after you've just revealed one of your life's lowest moments to her.
Hmm.
No?
I thought that was so powerful.
I think so too. Be honest with her. Encourage her to be her very best. Remember to laugh and have fun for everybody working so hard out there right now. It's not all about the work. It's all
So
about basically having that life and lifestyle. And make today a spa day. Why not? Beautiful. And actually, while we're on the books, where can we get these from?
you can go to the Sister Accord, and sisters Sister Accord Accord is in dog.com. And we have a store there with a lot of different wonderful Sister Accord items. We keep
Beautiful.
selling out. We
Mm.
always sell out of things, and so we have to restock. But I've been so blessed that my vision of this being a lifestyle brand, and
Right.
like you said, people say, Sonia, I just keep your book on my nightstand, or I'll keep
Yep.
it on the coffee table, and I'll just use it to remind me every day, because this is an everyday thing.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to have everyday items that people could use to inspire themselves. So we have the Sister Accord ring. We sold out of this, but we have a few other
Oh,
now.
nice.
Sister Accord bracelet,
Oh,
so
nice.
all of this is designed every day. I'm putting on joy. This
Hmm.
bracelet has joy. It's pearl bracelet with joy. How do we put on the things that we are working on? Put
Hmm.
on peace.
Put
What
on
does that
peace.
look like? What does that feel like? And
Mm.
so the tea, from everything from the tea, the perfume, everything was designed with this whole notion of, how do I get people to recognize that the most important love there is self-love? Because when you can truly love the skin that you're in, you can begin to see people as an extension of yourself. And it's a
That's right.
really powerful thing that happens, where
Hmm.
you can then spread the love that I talk about as part of the Sister Accord.
Yes, and what a powerful message in terms of putting on that peace,
Mhm.
wearing that joy,
Mhm.
reminding yourself of self-love and that you're just as important as everybody else is, that you do
Yes.
make a difference. You're here
Yeah.
for a reason. And I often say to women I'm working with, when they're angry or upset or frustrated, I remind them that, anger is love that's been disappointed,
Mm.
and bring that love back for yourself
Yeah.
and that kindness. You've still got today, tomorrow, moving
Yeah.
forward, and to move out of that anger and recognize that you really just need to bring that love back.
Right.
Give
That's
yourself that
right,
love
sister.
service.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Absolutely.
so I'm just so excited. I could talk to you all day. I
No,
mean,
I
now
can
you've
talk
just
about
you just mentioned perfume too, and I'm thinking, oh, I want to cover the perfume because I discovered, and we are going to jump into the Sister Accord right in a few moments, but the perfume, amongst all your talents as well, you decided to make this perfume for
Mhm.
the Sister Accord, just as you said, to bring out more self-worth, self-value, and beauty for yourself. Just tell me about the process of this perfume and who put it together with you, for you, because I love
Oh
perfumes.
my goodness, this story is so good. So I told you all that I started my career at Ford Motor Company. And I just met some of my dearest, closest, long-standing friends are my friends from Ford Motor Company. And there was a wonderful young lady who I met, Therese Western, and Therese was in HR. And so she was in the FCG program. I was in the Ford College Graduate Training Program. So this was supposed to be a program that fast tracked us,
Hmm.
gave us a lot of different experiences, and gave us an opportunity to get to management. And Teresa and I stayed in touch. She's just an incredible sister. She went over and spent some time in the UK
Uh-huh. Good.
working, and then she came back and she started really tapping into her purpose around fragrances.
Mm.
And she started a business, Fragrant Ted, in honor of her dad who had passed away.
Mm.
And I said to her, Therese, I had a dream. A lot of things come to me in my dreams. The Sister Accord came to me in my dream.
Okay.
And I said, you're supposed to help me create a fragrance for the Sister Accord. And she said, I mean, she literally said, just like that. She said, Sonia, you operate on a high level. There's no way I could ever do this. No, I think you need to go to someone else. So I didn't pressure her. She went through my dream walking program,
Mhm.
and I said, I won't pressure her. I'll just come back to her. So she finally came to me. and said that I'm ready. Said I'm ready. And I told her that I was not going to use anyone else because it was very clear to me in my prayer time, my meditation time, that she was the one. When I tell you that this fragrance is so incredibly amazing, how she put it together, it's mind blowing. And so that gave her the ability to say, you know what, I can do this because the feedback has been so amazing. Of course, we sold out of it, right? And so Therese and her business, we came together and created the scent. And so this was just the first scent. We're going to have 2 additional ones that are going to come. And so we're thinking about when we want to release the second one. When I tell you all of the organic materials and people who said, gosh, I usually sneeze when I, would smell perfume. I'm not sneezing. And it's because, we don't have all of the other things that are usually allergens for people. We don't have them in the Sister fragrance. And so I am so excited about this partnership with Therese because she is just an incredible, beautiful, and amazing sister. And now she truly understands that this is all part of what was planted inside of her as she was formed in her mother's womb. And she's having great success.
And she's stood up to it and she's owned it.
She owned it.
And the packaging is phenomenal. It's just God. Beautiful as the box opens.
Amazing job.
It's like it's animated.
Exactly.
It's stunning. I mean, the work that's gone into this. Now, I use essential oils aromatherapy. I'm a clinical aromatherapist, so I'm a big believer in natural fragrance and aroma and the impact that aroma has on your brain because it releases all these neurochemicals from your brain. So a good aroma will help you feel peaceful, rejuvenated, uplifted, and all of those things too. So there's so much that comes with that bottle of perfume that you've created. So thank you for doing this. And that leads me to, of course, you can get that from the website too, if you're interested in getting the perfume and seeing it. And we'll give you the website again, will be listed on the details for this podcast, as well as the end of the show. And this leads me to, just sharing how, there it is, you've got one. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Let's see it again. Can I see it again? Let's see it again. Lovely. It is stunning.
Thank you for listening to Your Unique Brilliance podcast. And if you want to define your brilliance and redefine your diamond potential, schedule a personal consultation with me to discover just how you can do that at nicolasalter.com. While you're there, make sure to subscribe to the show so you will never miss an episode. And if you found value in the show, I would appreciate a rating on iTunes or simply tell a friend. That would be amazing. You are amazing. Have an empowered week, everyone.